Airsoft GI would like to thank our sponsors.
Hi GI TV, I'm Bob the Axeman Hildebrand, welcoming you to another edition of Tactical Gearheads. Now in this episode, we're going to be going over my loadout for Tim vs. Bob 5, as well as my secondary loadout in case my main gun goes down. Now first and foremost, I want to focus on my safety gear. I've got an Annex MI7 face mask with ATAX camouflage. I really like these because they come with a visor and they come pre-installed with a thermal lens, which is going to help cut down on most of the fogging issues I'm going to have. I've also got a Mil-Spec Monkey Cool Guy Hat Deluxe. Now, I got that in tan because, well, it's going to go with the color of my team. I also like it because it's got a lot of MOLLE real estate and no negative space where I'm going to get shot in the skin on the front of my head. Now, as you can tell, I'm using an AK-47. This is actually a Tokyo Marui AK-47 I have had for a long time, almost a decade. It wasn't functioning, had the tech department work on it, and they fixed it up, and now it is purring like a kitten. I was actually using this at Tim vs. Bob 3 after our lead tech, Aaron Moore, fixed it up for me. I made some modifications. I actually, because I couldn't find a flashlight mount in time, I decided to just duct tape it on. We actually used the little belt hook on here and put that into the sling mount, and then duct tape it on, duct tape a pressure switch on top, and to be honest, it works pretty well. I'm really happy with this. It may look a little janky, but that is in keeping with the Rebel Forces look. It's pretty much stock. I'm using actually 4 Bravo high-capacity flash mags. Now, I'd love to take the moral high ground and use only mid-caps, but since I am facing the Timpire, and more specifically Tim himself, I don't need to seize the moral high ground. I just want to put Tim on the ground along with the rest of his Timperial Guardsmen. That said, like I mentioned, I have 4 Bravo Flash Mag high-capacity magazines. I do have 1 mid-cap because those are all the AK mags I currently own. But I do have a backup gun. It's always important to take a backup gun when you are going to a big operation like this, because the last thing you want is for your main rifle or main gun to go down and you have no other option than to go to a sidearm. That kind of can ruin your weekend. So for my backup gun, I decided to take my LM4 PTS manufactured by KWA. Let's take a look. All right, so as you can see here, I've got my backup gun. This is my LM4 PTS. What I really like about this loadout is the fact that I can do double duty. You know, if my TM AK-47 does go down, I can switch out the mags for my LM4 and I'm ready to rock and roll and dispense Timpire Guardsmen at will. Now, because I actually have an extra mag pouch left over with this different setup for my backup gun, I decided to change my loadout a little bit. I actually moved my Big League Chew from my pouch back here up to this patch right here. That's in case I need to access it a lot faster. Now, as you can see, my LM4 PTS has a lot of stuff on the front here. It's got a flashlight that is attached to the rail right here. I've got a pressure switch on the left side, which is nice. I've also got 3 lasers on the bottom here. Now, obviously, Tim vs. Bob is not a milsim game. I'm just out there to have fun, as are a lot of our players. Now, I did that just because, well, I was watching Predator with our Predator Josh, and I thought it'd be really cool to have 3 lasers on a gun. It hasn't quite worked out very effectively, but it is really fun, so I decided to leave it on there just for the fun factor alone. I've also got a MOE PTS handguard, or excuse me, a front foregrip on there, which is really nice. I think it's very effective, and yeah, it's just very comfortable. So that's how I have my LM4 PTS set up. Yeah, pretty simple loadout, and I really like it, especially for my backup kit. Let's head out back to the AK loadout right now. All right, so like I mentioned, it's always good to have a backup gun. I wanted to go with my primary for the AK because, you know, we are the Rebel Forces. And also I've used this, and it's a really fun gun and very lightweight. And if I feel like going a bit more realistic, you know, I can go with the LM4 PTS loadout, which is obviously quite a bit more realistic because of the manipulation of the gun. Now, I do have a Magpul Ms2 Sling right here. I'm using that to keep my rifle on me so I can switch from the left or the right shoulder. I'm gonna set this down really quickly. Now, I'm using a Specter modular plate carrier. I'm a big fan of this. It allows me to hold a lot of gear, and it's also very comfortable because it's got channels on the inside that allow the air to, I guess, move around the vest, making it much more comfortable. I've got 3. These are actually double M4 mag pouches manufactured by Condor. I've got 2 double M4 mag pouches manufactured by Pantech, and I've got 2 double M4 mag pouches manufactured by Tactical Tailor that have bungee on the front for holding shotgun shells. Now, these are all meant for M4 mag pouches, but because I don't have any AK-specific mag pouches, I can fit 1 AK mag in each of these apiece. I'm basically just using these pouches for double duty. They seem to do the job, and that's what I care about. If it's stupid, but it works, It isn't stupid. Further on, I've got two pistol magazine pouches. This is a Specter magazine pouch. I'm holding 2 magazines for a KWA 1911. Now, I really like this gun. I'm a big fan of 1911s. That's why I decided to take it, and it's actually holstered in a G-code RTI holster. I'm a big fan of those holsters. They work very well. I've also got a Costal Leg Rig. Now, I got that because, well, I need a lot of different magazine pouches, and it also allows me to carry my Thunder Bee grenades. I'm a big fan of Thunder Bees. I'm going to be using a lot of grenades at this event, and because it has 3 pistol magazine pouches, I can also carry the magazines for my HK45, which is right here. I'm a big fan of this gun because it holds so many rounds, and it is so comfortable, it feels like an extension of my arm. I really like it, and I can also use my G&G flashlight with this. It's pretty awesome. I like the fact that I have this Costal Leg Rig because I can do that pretty simply, or at least pretty easily, and not have any issue with it so far. Now, I'm using one of these M4 magazine pouches to holster my HK45 because, well, I'm kind of running out of holsters, and that's basically all I've got. So I'm making it work, making it happen, and to keep myself hydrated, I've also got a Source 3-liter hydration bag. Now, further on left, I'm sure you can see I've got my Nerf Tomahawk. That's for my quick kills in case I can't get my axe out quickly enough. And as you can see, I've got my Nerf axe in my tactical shotgun scabbard. It's really great. I've been using the Condor tactical shotgun scabbard for a number of years, and I've broken it in so it's a lot easier to draw either my axe or the shotgun that I'm using much more quickly. Now, on my back for hydration, where I'm carrying the Source hydration bag, is my Specter hydration carrier. Boom. Pretty great. I've actually also got an extra pouch on there where I'm going to put a magazine loader that's going to help my buddies, or at least people who are around me, reload their magazines in case they need to immediately. Now, as you've seen, I've got my Thunder Bee grenades. I've also got extra Thunder Bee shells in my side utility pouches. I've got 2 utility pouches from Specter. They're actually a very great piece of kit. I keep the extra shells in there as well as extra BBs, and I keep the extra 12 grams on these little bungee shot shell pouches in addition to inside the utility pouch. Now, like I mentioned, I've got extra magazines, but in these actual pouches on the side for double M4 pouches, I've got 2 Airsoft Innovations Tornado Impact grenades. Now, I really like these because if someone's running up on your cover, you can pull the pin and toss it right over the cover you're behind, and it will detonate on impact. It has saved my butt more times than I would like to remember. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff on here. Definitely, I'm wearing everything I need and probably more than I don't need. I've got 2 pistols. I've got 4 grenades. I've actually got 3 magazines for each pistol. I'm also carrying my Motorola Talk About. In this pouch, I basically squeeze the pouch and it'll be a push to talk button. I didn't have my ordinary push to talk stuff on here, so I'm just jury rigging it like that. Yeah, I've also got my Mechanics Impact 2012 gloves. I've used these in a lot of videos. You know, this is probably one of the best purchases I've made in the past year. I have 0 complaints about them. They're very comfortable, and I think they look pretty cool. Now, I've also got my proper ATACs on here. Like you probably already know, I'm a big fan of ATACs. They're very comfortable. I also roll the sleeves up so I can ventilate a little bit more because I do sweat a lot. I don't want to overheat, and that's also why I want to stay hydrated. It's also a little bit, it's a little thicker than normal combat shirts, so it's going to protect me a little bit more than a combat shirt would, especially in those close engagements. Now, I've also got a variety of patches on here. I've got an American flag patch, as I always want to have. I've also got an armed to the teeth patch because I feel, well, armed to the teeth. Now, further over here on the right side, I've got all of my Tim vs. Bob 5 patches. Tim vs. Bob patches. I keep screwing that up. Now, I've got one for each and every event we've been to, especially this one right here, which is for Revenge of the Timpire, which is what we're calling Tim vs. Bob 5 in Antioch, California at GamePod. And now, look forward to these patches if you're fighting for either the Timpire or the Rebellion. Remember, you're going to have to earn them, and you earn them by fighting for either the Timpire or, more importantly, the Rebellion. All right, well, I think that's just about everything I've got on this kit. I'm also wearing, just in case you didn't notice, I'm wearing my Tad Gear pants, triple-aught design, and I'm also wearing my Under Armour Tactical Valsets boots. I really have 0 complaints about those. I mean, the only exception that I have is that I wish there was a polymer toe in them, but they are an incredibly lightweight piece of kit. Each boot weighs less than a pound. They are very light, and they feel like walking on clouds of awesomeness. So, 0 complaints there. I'm really happy with this kit. Oh, I did forget one thing. Probably the thing that made this kit much more comfortable than it used to be is the fact that I added some Shellback Tactical, I believe Banshee shoulder pads or Banshee padded shoulder pads. I believe these are made for the Banshee, but they work on a variety of different kits. I noticed after carrying 9 different LM4 mags on myself, the shoulders were digging, or the pads were digging into my shoulders, so I added these shoulder pads and they work exceptionally well. It raises the vest up a little bit and makes it quite a bit more comfortable. Overall, I'm really excited about this kit. I can't wait to smash the Timpire into the ground at Tim vs. Bob 5, and I can't wait to do it with my old Tokyo Marui AK. Well, that's going to be it for this Tim vs. Bob 5 edition of Tactical Gearheads. I really hope to see all of you out there either fighting for the Timpire or, more importantly, the Rebellion. I'm Bob the Axeman Hildebrand, and this is GITV.
Airsoft GI would like to thank our sponsors.